In July and August of that year, we toured Japan in Tokyo, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. So do you want to say a bit about that?
Yeah, that was it was pretty cool. Like that's probably the biggest thing we've done.
How did that
sort of the biggest thing we stepped out. Well, originally like Youth Alive had sort of like gotten in contact with some people who from here who are living over there at the moment, and had there's a guy named Rod Plummer, has his own church, and they wanted to start up like a Youth Alive, how we have it here, because pretty much in terms of Japanese like Christian sort of youth sort of stuff, that there's nothing that they really have. So they pretty much just wanted to set up and start pretty much everything that we have here. So there was a few teams sent over from all over Australia, different states, and that different Youth Alive groups got together from Sydney and Melbourne and everywhere. And Adelaide, we were the Adelaide team, and a few of the guys who play for, like a few of the guys from Planet Shakers came over as well. But we sort of were just with Scott Hawkins, who was the director of Youth Alive at the time, and went around with him and sort of just set up, and like we didn't really have any set places to play at it. Like while we were there, like we sort of just went around with a generator and a van and a whole bunch of Japanese people that we made good friends with, and just cruised around with them, just setting up in the streets and stuff and playing. And some of the stuff, like, it was just amazing, like just playing in the middle of the street, massive packed out train stations and stuff. One place is called Shinjuku Railway Station. I think it's the second biggest in the area. And they have about, 20 million people go through it each day, like through their railway station. So we just played sort of in the middle of that for about 50 minutes.
50 minutes and then
the police came. And I think that was like the third time we've been the police come up and said, yeah, no more, stop it. Yeah. So we just pack up and leave.
That's crazy. So you just, like, I've heard about those shows.
Yeah.
You just set up.
Yeah, and then just crowd draws, and yeah, it's pretty insane. So we'd like play probably about 4 or 5 songs, and then someone like me, Nath or Levi would jump up and give a testimony, like in different places that we played at. So we'd give a testimony, and then people, like, we sold tons of CDs while we were over there as well. So which all had like a sort of gospel message on them, like a DVD sort of thing as well, with like a basic gospel message on it. Because in Japan, like the Christian population is less than 1% over there. So to go over there and to spread that message, most people were hearing it for the first time. So it was pretty exciting. And so so we did that, and like some of the guys at their church were like punkers, and so they hooked us up with like shows on the weekend when we were there too. So we actually played this like punk hardcore club that they had in Tokyo, which is pretty insane. Yeah, so we played 3 shows in one night.
That was called the Stargic Room, and it was like you actually go downstairs underground. It was like a real underground, and everything's just black. Everything's set up, the PA, all the lighting, all this sound gear. They just record it and everything, and we just all you do is rock up, plug in, and play. And we just did 3 shows in one night, and had sort of gone around and done acoustic stuff during the day.
Yeah, as well.
And and I think by the end of that, how many shows we played in 6 days? About 20 shows in 6 days. So by that time we were pretty tired, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty hard work, but it was good fun.
Oh, cool, yeah, that sounds crazy. So how did you get the funds to do that trip? Is that through gigs?
No. Look, my wife. No, we sort of we raised a bit of that money ourselves, like from selling merchandise and that sort of thing. And then like before we went, we were so short, there was no way that we were going to be able to do the trip. And so all of us really prayed that, like, God, like, if he wanted us to go on this trip to reach those people, and we obviously thought he wanted to reach them, that he'd provide us with like what we needed to get over there. And so I was pretty nervous because I had to make a last minute call, like to say whether we were going or not. And so I went, just prayed like on my own under a bridge near my house for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something. And I really felt like God said, yeah, you're supposed to be doing this, so do it. So stepped out, and then like people started giving us money, and like people from Levi's church like gave their money. There's like one family at his home church in Edithburgh, and their son's disabled, and so wasn't able to, like, they couldn't see that he'd be able to do anything to like reach people over there, and so they said in his stead they were going to give Levi the money, like for him to go out and to do that, to impact people's lives. And so I was really touched by that. to be honest, when we went over there, we were worried about having enough money to get over there. When we got over there, we all had spending money.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it was Leroy had the most. It was awesome. He just pulls out all this yen. It was like, it was heaps cool. So we prayed and God provided for us, and He's like God's done that. Like with our CDs and stuff as well, we've had provision of money for all of those, and it's just you know when it's happening. It's heaps good.
God's blessing. That just sounds amazing, true. Yeah, sounds awesome. Cool. I'm just going. Was there any other big tours and things you want to talk about? Or?
Oh no, that's pretty much
That's the big one.
Main tours.
We'll talk about this one first.
Yep.
So we've got HOMETIME. It's called Choices. I like the cover. Can you tell who did the artwork for this one?
Our mate Darren Fowles. He's like one of the head graphic designers at the Advertiser.
Yeah.
He knocked that up for us in a night, or maybe 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah. So, and how many tracks are
it's 13. Yeah, 13 tracks on that one.
Yeah, and what's the main influences on this first one?
As in sort of music.
Yeah, what sort of music?
I guess it's mainly sort of punk and sort of poppy sort of music at this stage.
But so you can hear the heavier metal riffs on there. Because I remember listening to it, he's a metal guitarist.
Yeah.
Like they're doing punk, you can hear the metal in there.
Yeah, so it's like punk with guitar solos.
Yeah. A bit of a riff master.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Courtesy of Jade, the solos, most of them. So he's the shredder of the band.
The shredder. You got some heavy guitar work there. And you got some sponsors as well. Alan's Music.
Yeah, they looked after us. Yeah.
And Spin Graphic Design, that's the guy that helped out.
Yeah.
See, and where did you record this?
That was recorded in Gawler at our mate's place. He's just had a home studio set up there.
Yeah.
So I recorded everything next to his pool table, and maybe ashamed to say that we used an electric drum kit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might not have picked it, but
no, I didn't pick
if you ever listen carefully to the toms, you'll hear enough reverb to convince you that it is an electric drum
How
kit.
did you use the electric drum kit?
Budget.
Just brand new?
Yeah. We were working with about $1,500 or something with that for the whole thing. So, it worked well.
Yeah. So you recorded in the house. Whose house is that?
Guy called Dave Turrell, he was originally the manager of Life FM.
Oh, really?
So,
So you got to know him through Life FM?
He goes to our church in Gawler.
Yeah.
So, so that's how we hooked up with that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's easy to pass it to him to give to other people as well.
Yeah,
so.
that's a good way to get it out.
Yeah.
Because it was getting out there around. So who recorded it? What's his name?
Yep, Dave Turrell recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, and he helped out. He did the mixing as well.
Yeah.
And you mastered it at Life of Him.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was previous to them having their studio, so their proper setup.
Excellent. And what sort of following did you have at this time?
My mum and my sister, and Nana. Nana bought a few copies.
It was starting to really spread at this time, wasn't it?
Yeah. With that CD, that was cool.
Where did you have a launch for that one?
That one we had here.
Oh.
Yeah. First
The
launch.
first one was at Faster Pasta in Gawler. It was cool. You eat pasta and watch this band play. It was cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. So, so our first launch was here with a band called 710 Split, sort of a ska band at the time. So, some good buds of ours. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So,
and do you remember how many CDs, how many sold it is?
I don't know. I probably sold about 400 and gave away 100.
So you did a pressing of 500.
Yeah.
Oh, you did well.
Yeah. But then when we had our other tours, then we used the songs off of that and then packaged them as tour EPs. And so we probably sold easily over probably about another 500 of those on top. When we were touring, when you tour, it's pretty easy to sell CDs.
Yeah, right.
So I guess if you're a good band, or people like the sound that you've got,
And when you're selling them for $10, it's pretty good as well.
So you sold
Yeah.
What about when you went overseas?
We sold
That's where
a
we
few
sold the
hundred.
most. Or?
Yeah, and that paid for this beautiful ESP guitar. So, So I used all my spending money that I'd saved up to press all the CDs. So when we went over, sold it, and then bought a guitar. It's good fun.
And what was the main sort of sound driving this? Like, sort of, what was the main thing? Was it guitar driven or bass or drums?
Yeah, I think it's always been guitar driven. Yeah. So, because the drums are just nice and solid behind it. And at that stage, Jade's dance loving brother was just got to lay down bass lines, so well, I guess he likes bass.
Yeah.
And at that time he just had to listen to the drums when he was doing it, so he had drum and bass, which is what he was into.
He don't play solos and stuff, so
No,
it wasn't bass driven.
no, definitely not. Yeah.
Alrighty. And what's sort of the, like, you said, talking about the progression of this one, so it's more like punk, isn't it? And like punk based.
There's one heavy sort of song on it.
Yeah. So you can sort of see where it's going from here. What bands were you into when you listened to this record?
I was listening to a lot of, MXPX and Slick Shoes.
Yeah, a bit of MXPX on their Slick Shoes.
Yeah. What else was I
I
listening
was
to?
always into Metallica and Pantera.
Yeah.
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 And Extreme.
Yeah. So there was other stuff I was listening to at the time, but it doesn't come out on there. So.
No.
I heard the MXP straight away. It's really cool. And like with the metal riffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Sick. Cool. All right, and progression. When did you record this one?
That was 2001, I think.
Yeah. Cool. And you recorded this one this year?
Last year.
2004.
End of last year.
Yeah.
End of last year.
Yeah, July 2004.
Sick. All right, let's get into this one. So, where are we at now? What's the story now with this sound?
Um,
I'm a part of it now, so is Levi and Joel.
yeah. And
we didn't have anything
and
to
Jade
do
and
with
I's
that.
dreams have come true.
So you're obviously really excited about this. What's the feeling about it?
No dance, no punk, heavy stuff.
Yeah, we get to
Yeah.
play
There's a
cool
little bit of
stuff all the
punk.
time.
There's a little bit of punk, but it's
But then it goes heavy.
not pop punk.
Yeah.
So
So with songwriting, we've sort of experimented with like dropping our guitars to B. So like playing, obviously with 7-string, that's all happening anyway. But then just drop tuning our other guitars as well, and just coming up with some pretty fat stuff. And Levi's pretty keen on the old breakdown, so we started
breakdowns and heavy sections.
Yeah, so we started putting a lot of those in there, and Joel's pretty keen on that too.
He does double bass. So.
Yeah, we didn't use any electric drums on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, fortunately.
Fortunately.
Yeah. So because I guess having a drummer come in as well, that was like that can match like whatever we're doing with guitar, enables us to be able to play that sort of really choppy, heavy stuff as well.
Yeah.
So with the double kick, that's really cool. And I guess you listen to that and you might think, oh yeah, it sounds okay. Well, Joel recorded it after playing 3 shows with us. Then we went into the studio after doing a bit of pre-production. So so it's come a long way even since doing that.
Yeah, because like this one, like I know, like ours, talking about ours, like first one, what's pre-production and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, where did you do your pre-production?
I just at church, with a friend of ours, Kelly Blake. She just recorded it all onto the computer for us, and then we just able to go away and have a listen.
And what did you do with the songs? Did you hammer them and refine them, or
Yeah.
did you stay pretty safe?
Yeah, we did hammer and refine them. Yeah, I guess because Joel just come in as well, and putting his own flavour on what we were playing, was able to, we were able to think, and songs that previously may have been a bit simple in sections, we were able to, or not complicate them, but to make them a lot tighter, and everyone locked in together, which was what we wanted to do, was to get a real tight sound. And so we spent probably about 4 or 5 weeks doing that before we went into the studio.
And we had a lot better gear to use.
Yeah. So what sort of equipment are you using now? What's your sound?
Well, on that album, we used Line 6 gear, just like ran
Straight
like pods straight through. Well, everything was digital pretty much then, and then on this recording we used all live amps. So
Tube.
all tube amps.
Tube
Yeah.
amps.
So we worked.
What sort of amps?
We worked. You can go into this, Jake, because you like talking
JCM.
about it.
Marshall JCM 800.
Yeah.
An old Super Lead 50 watt, and a Soldano Decatone, and PV 5152, and
You're right. You had the full rack there.
Yeah.
what else?
Here come the cabinets.
We tried. We pretty much all used a Marshall Vintage 30 cabinet. We did hire a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, but didn't end up using it because we liked the other ones.
Yeah. I see. So you got